British Rallycross season may be done and dusted, but we've one last hurrah, the season-closing Grand Prix here at Croft Circuit. In BRX this year, one man stood out from the crowd, Dan Rook. He won the championship in his first year at the top level, so let's look back at the highlights of the superstar in a supercar.
It was that point I sort of went, wow, I'm leading my second supercar race.
I went out and practiced this morning and I really enjoyed the rain, and the track just feels amazing, so I think it's going to be a really good day today.
Dan, you got the fastest lap time.
Yeah, I just have to keep it a bit neat and tidy in the finals, a bit ragged then, so just got to be a bit wary of Dave on my outside, because the outside is a lot grippier off the line here. Yeah, I've just learned I'm leading the championship again.
The MSA British Rallycross Championship, and it looks as though we're going to be on for a battle royal for race honours. And look how much more speed Rook has got. He takes over the lead. A great start as they work their way through on the curve by Dave Bellamy. He's going to have the advantage, but no, right round the outside of him there goes Dan Rook. Bellamy up the inside and he hits him. Rook gets knocked sideways, he's off the road. Where's Bellamy gone? He's gone sideways. Rook still leads the race, amazing. He's going to score a second win of the season in the supercar division of the MSA British Rallycross Championship. Dan Rook wins here at Musmacallum. First time to the circuit, and he's absolutely nailed the weekend. Absolutely fantastic. He won Heat 1, Heat 2, Heat 3, his semi-final and the final as well. And Dan Rook opens the door, punches the air and starts the celebrations. Well done, that man. What a weekend he has had. He becomes the youngest ever British Rallycross champion.
The Grand Prix is a prestigious standalone event. David Addison explains for us the format.
Croft in North Yorkshire is the venue for the 2016 MSA British Rallycross Grand Prix. It's a prestigious event, it dates back to 1982, and it's an end-of-season, non-championship shootout between the best drivers in British Rallycross. It differs from your average British Championship round in as much as you can forget all about classes. Don't worry about Super 1600 or Super National. Here you can have four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive cars all fighting it out together across 3 qualifying rounds of heats. It also differs from a British Championship round in as much as you don't have semi-finals. It goes back to the traditional way of having a D final, a C, a B, and then the A final. The top 2 drivers progress from the D to the C, from the C to the B, and the B final into that all-important A final that will determine who wins this year's Grand Prix.
It's all about the best 10 at the end of the day, but there's going to be a huge amount of action along the way.
As the four-wheel drive cars, the supercars and the two-wheel drive brigade mix it on one of Britain's best rallycross tracks.
It's been running for many, many years, the Grand Prix. It had a few years where it didn't run for, but it's been, I think, from the 80s it's been running, and it's the same trophy they've got down at the MSA house, and it's just very nice to get your name on there, because there's many famous names on there from rallycross. So it's just a nice one to try and win.
Is that the main motivation, to be on that list of illustrious winners, or is it also the fact that you yet again can try and put one over on the opposition?
That's right, yeah. It's always nice to win, and the competition this year is very good. We've had some good races all year, and it's going to be very big competition in the Grand Prix for this today.
Now you've got Dan Rook, who's of course taken your championship title away from you in the opposition. You've also got Liam Duran, who's won it before, and he's not done much British Rallycross for a long time, but he's back. In other words, it's a hugely competitive entry.
That's right, it is very, very competitive. It is going to be very tough to try and win it, but I will do my best to try and get there, and hopefully that's a good time.
Time to go racing, lights out for the RX 150s, away they blast. Not a championship round, title won this year by Chrissy Palmer. Their last point scoring race was yesterday here at Croft, Palmer having won the title at Pembrey back in September, and so this is an end of term shootout just for the glory. And the man who leads the way is Kurt Langley as they work their way around Hawthorne for the first time. Great battle on for second place. Kevin Feeney just ahead of Brett Harris as they turn their way through the corner. Harris goes through. Kirk Langley leads the way down that back straight into Samson Curve, and he has made good his escape with everybody else now battling behind him. Stephen Jones there, number 9, runner-up in the championship this year, to Chrissy Palmer, closing on Brett Harris, desperately trying to find a way through for second place now. They're running absolutely together. Big sideways slide through Clairvaux for the leader, Kirk Langley. He arrived late in the championship, but he's made a big impression. Jones third, but also a bit wide at Clairvaux, losing touch now with Harris in that second place fight. Jones down to the hairpin. He's pushing as hard as he possibly can, but Brett Harris seemingly has the answer. Kirk Langley, race leader, continues to pull away. He's got the best of the visibility, of course, and he's controlling the pace up front now. Jones third, makes his way across the loose, back towards the tarmac here. Race leader Kirk Langley is on target to win the RX 150 final. He sprints his way up towards the timing line, checkered flag waves, and it is a win for Kirk Langley. Second goes the way of Brett Harris, and third will be Stephen Jones. Kevin Feeney fourth ahead of Larry Sargent. Mitchell Flaherty rounds out the finishers. Kirk Langley then wins the RX 150 final. The juniors blast away from the line, all of them in identical 1300cc Suzuki Swifts. And again, the championship secured yesterday here at Croft by Sam Jones. He's not racing today. That leaves the way clear for one or two others to shine. And Peter Bennett, having his first outing, has been really good, taking over the car that Ben Llewellyn won with yesterday. Peter Bennett drives number 6. There he is. And Bennett, a man to watch as he runs third around Hawthorne for the first time. But up front in the blue car, Tom Middleton keeping at bay. Tom Constantine, who locks up. There's a bit of contact between Constantine and Bennett. Bennett drops to third there. Onto the loose for the first time now. End of the lap, through the hairpin and being shoveled out wide there. Look, number 7, Tom Constantine. He's in all the gloopy mess on the outside line. That hampers his pace, and Bennett up alongside him. He then runs wide. Two of the stars in this race being delayed early doors as the leaders work their way down to the hairpin. Morgan Root in 33, former kart racer, trying to attack because right ahead of him is Matt Rainbow, and also defend because right with him is Tom Constantine. The race leader, though, is Tom Middleton, and he is building this gap. Battle on. Morgan Root right up alongside Tom Constantine as they work their way through the chicane. There's contact. Root slides and spins, and round as well goes Constantine. Big delay for both of them, and Peter Bennett, who was delayed early on, has just gained 2 places. Off the road there goes 7, Tom Constantine, and Morgan Root spins in avoidance. They've tangled once, and this time Root comes off worse. Up front then, it is still Tom Middleton leading the way, and Matt Rainbow is up into second place. In third spot now, Peter Bennett. It looks like it's going to be, in the end, an easy win here for Tom Middleton. He comes across the loose, heading back towards the tarmac. The checkered flag ready, and a win for Tom Middleton in the junior final, ahead of Matt Rainbow second, Peter Bennett third, Tom Constantine fourth, and it's Morgan Root who rounds out the 5 in the juniors here at the MSA British Rallycross Grand Prix. And these are the Rallycross stars of the future. Tom Middleton wins here at Croft. Retro Rallycross takes you back to a golden age, and as the cars blast away for their A final, the car on the middle of the front row of the grid, Barry Stewart's Porsche, is the same car that won the very first British Rallycross Grand Prix way back in 1982 with Rolf Nilsson at the wheel. It turns its way then through Clairvaux Corner, being chased by the Metro 6R4 and Mark Flaherty as Darren Grimston gets all sideways at the back of the pack. The 6R4 leading the way. Mark Flaherty goes through on the inside in a great BMW battle as Vince Bristow gets up the inside of Gary Simpson on the outside of the escort of Ray Morgan, and then Simpson collects Lance Foster's Mini. The Mini gets tangled up in it. Foster blasts away along the back straight now. There is Lance Foster, and the roof just parts company. All of a sudden, the roof flies off the car. There's an air-conditioned Mini in the race. The other Mini is that of Stuart Bowes, and he's up alongside Ray Morgan. Ray Morgan is the Super Retro Rallycross Champion-elect, and Stuart Bowes on target to win his class within the championship. Up front, though, Barry Stewart, who's also doing the Grand Prix this weekend with great pace, loses out there. He goes wide. Through goes the Mini. Barry Stewart in all sorts of strife. Offline, it's so muddy. He's lost place after place after place.
So Stuart Bowes up the order into second in the Mini. Third is Ray Morgan in the ex-Mark Lloyd Escort Mark III. There it is. And just like in period, the Mini going great guns. Stuart Bowes accelerates across the loose. Mark Flaherty then, even showing the same motor-equipped British Rallycross Grand Prix number panels as used in period, leads the way in the 6R4. He's on target for a pretty easy win, seemingly now, with four-wheel drive helping him in these very slippery conditions. Mark Flaherty blasts his way across the loose once again. Who's going to be second? Stuart Bowes has the advantage in the Mini, just ahead of Ray Morgan. Then Vince Bristow's BMW keeping the air-conditioned Mini of Lance Foster at bay. And Foster, despite the fact the roof has parted company, is doing a great job. Checkered flag, confirming the win for Mark Flaherty from Stuart Bowes second, Ray Morgan third, then Vince Bristow from Lance Foster, and Barry Stewart down in sixth in the Porsche from Darren Grimston, and then Gary Simpson's BMW in eighth. More action to come here after the break.
It's the Grand Prix at Croft, the traditional season closer, and what a year it's been in British Rallycross. The C final is coming next.
Great start by Andy Grant. He was on the outside of row 2 and he leads by a country mile on the way down towards Clairvaux corner. Top 2 from this C final will go into the B. Andy Grant and Mad Mark Watson, they're looking third in the Citroën. They should be the two to progress because they are both in four-wheel drive turbocharged Rallycross supercars. Great battle going on for second place. Barry Stewart keeping at bay Mad Mark Watson. Down they come to the hairpin. The Porsche ahead of the Citroën, which goes off the road. Mad Mark has had a miserable day and it gets no better. Also off the road, David Bell. The Mini out of the race as Kiefer Hudson and Tony Lynch squabble. Mini versus Ford car up towards the line. Lynch goes backwards, loses a place there. James Coney up and past him in the Corsa. Another good fight raging on there, you can see. 45, that is Craig Lomax, as Andy Grant dominates up front. The Ford Focus then looking for a place in the B final. Grant on his own, out of the hairpin now, power down. Now still there, you can see Craig Lomax battling on. He's got Tristan Ovenden behind him. The Suzuki really on the tail now of the Citroën, and Tony Lynch is busy battling as well in the Ford car as they work their way to the line. Lynch round the outside of Kiefer Hudson. Ford versus the BMW Mini that pendulums left and right. Hudson hangs on to a big slide. James Coney hustling on as well. He's almost up with Kiefer Hudson now. Andy Grant, though, is heading for the B final. This is going to be his race, no question. The Devonian garage owner on his way. James Coney closing onto the back of Kiefer Hudson. Meantime, Barry Stewart runs second. He's going to make it through into the B final as well in the venerable Porsche. He's out in the Retro Rallycross event as well as the Grand Prix itself, and Barry Stewart going great guns. Checkered flag waved. Andy Grant wins the C final. Barry Stewart second. They will progress. Tony Lynch, Kiefer Hudson, James Coney and Tristan Ovenden round out the top 6. A non-finish for David Bell, another non-finish for Mad Mark Watson. The B final is go. This time around, it's the top 4 we're looking for that go through into the Grand Prix itself, and Ollie O'Donovan leads the way. James Grint gets all wide and sideways at the back of the pack. It's a very wet and slippery road now. Top 4 go through. Ollie O'Donovan leads the way. Barry Stewart's Porsche in the spray at the back of the pack. It's a very tricky track, and Grint has spun. James Grint back in the right direction, powering his way past Barry Stewart. But Grint has left himself with a lot of work to do. Next target for Grint is Guy Corner's two-wheel drive Peugeot, and round the outside he goes. James Grint blasting his way up the order. Can he qualify? Off the road is Jake Harris in Dad Steve's Citroën. That is going no further. Ollie O'Donovan leads the way. Pat Duran is second, and then third at the moment. It is Tony Bardi being chased by Andy Grant. Pat Duran working his way down to the hairpin. He's not going to catch O'Donovan by the look of it, but as long as he qualifies for the Grand Prix, he should be content with that. Ollie O'Donovan, runner-up in the British Championship this year. He won the last round of the championship, indeed, yesterday here at Croft. He desperately wants to win the Grand Prix. Last lap, last corner. Ollie O'Donovan goes through, moves his way up on the inside of Barry Stewart in the Porsche to put a lap on him. Ollie O'Donovan wins the B final and will qualify. Who is going to be second? It's Pat Duran, and that's Tony Bardi with a wheel off. Bardi, with a corner to go, has lost a wheel. He was third and hoping to qualify. Through is going to go Andy Grant, and there is James Grint right up behind him. He's fifth. Bardi might just get home and qualify, even on three wheels. Tony Bardi is going to make it. Grant goes third. Bardi fourth. He does qualify, assuming they can get all the damage repaired, and James Grint misses out right at the very end. Wow, high drama, and still the battles rage on as 81 Mike Boak heads towards the line, and a spin right at the very end as well, and that is Paige Bellaby in the Lotus, the Super National spec car. Drama all the way in the B final. Ollie O'Donovan wins, Pat Duran second, Andy Grant third, Tony Bardi fourth. Those are the ones that will qualify. Well, can Tony Bardi get the damage repaired? We'll find out. Confirmation of the results over the line. O'Donovan, Duran, Grant, Bardi from Grint and Boak, the top six. Those that we lost, Barry Stewart and Jake Harris early on. We're ready for the Grand Prix. We are ready for the 2016 MSA British Rallycross Grand Prix. Dan Rook on pole position. Liam Duran and Dave Bellaby on the front row with him, ahead of Kevin Proctor and Julian Godfrey. Steve Hill is on row 3 with those up from the B final. Ollie O'Donovan and Pat Duran the 1-2, but James Grint and Mike Boak get in as reserves. Tony Bardi can't repair the damage, and Andy Grant does not have an international licence, which you need to take part in this MSA sanctioned Grand Prix. So James Grint and Mike Boak get in at the back of the grid. We are ready for 6 laps of drama. The all-important, the much-coveted MSA British Rallycross Grand Prix is about to get underway. It's go! Good start by Rook, good start by Duran, dreadful start by Kevin Proctor, who goes nowhere. The event sponsor staggers away from the line, but it's going to be Liam Duran who leads. He blocked Dan Rook as up to the outside comes Dave Bellaby. Bellaby sideways, he runs wide and loses the place. Double OD, Ollie O'Donovan goes past him. Frantic stuff at the first corner as the cars work their way now onto the loose for the first time coming out of the chicane. Liam Duran and then his teammate, British champion Dan Rook, lead the way. On board with Bellaby, there's a sideways O'Donovan ahead, and Bellaby gets a better run out of the chicane and goes past him. Look back, there's O'Donovan. Liam Duran leads the way as they come across the loose, and now down towards the hairpin, coming out of Samson Curve. Fast part of the circuit, this. Spare a thought for Mike Boak at the back of the pack, because he is in a two-wheel drive, Super 1600 spec car. He's a very good driver, very good preparer, Mike Boak, but against the supercars, he's not going to have anywhere near their speed or their grip. So the leader is Liam Duran, and Dan Rook second at the moment, not really being able to attack. The two of them trying to break away from the opposition. Out of Hawthorne they turn. Who is the best of the rest? You've got Kevin Proctor trying to play catch-up after his dreadful start, and he is picking off the places now. Duran leading Rook, then for third, Bellaby ahead of O'Donovan. Pat Duran rounds next, and Julian Godfrey, double Grand Prix winner, down in 6th place. He's got a lot of work to do as well. James Grint and Kevin Proctor absolutely side by side. Proctor in the Fiesta goes through, or does he? Because here comes Grint back on the inside. Shoved his nose up the inside at Samson Curve and couldn't do it. Proctor sideways trying to get up the inside of Steve Hill. Contact between them on board with Hill, and that's Proctor going through. Hill gets run out wide, and so now James Grint tries to go through, and he does round the outside. 2 places lost for Steve Hill. He'll be hugely frustrated about that. So Proctor is moving forward. This is Pat Duran. His son leads the way, and Pat, multiple British champion, is working his way lower down the order as Hill gets sideways, and round he goes. The Mitsubishi Evo spins to the inside of Hawthorne, and Steve Hill gets back onto the road, but he's lost more ground, more places. O'Donovan battles on. He's now got Julian Godfrey up behind him. O'Donovan goes wide down to the hairpin, and through on the inside goes Godfrey. Place gained.
Ollie O'Donovan desperately wants to win the Grand Prix, perhaps more than the British Championship. He's won that before, and he's not going to be a Grand Prix winner this year. He's losing places and losing time. Up front, the Citroens have the advantage, and the Fiestas lower down are struggling to match the pace. Kevin Proctor's had a disappointing weekend, a really frustrating season. He's not given up yet, though. Can he get onto the podium? Julian Godfrey there at the moment, looking strong, as up front the race leader remains Liam Durant. Second, it is Dan Rook, and Dave Bellaby third. He's doing his best to stay with them. Bellaby, who is Kevin Proctor's brother-in-law, hanging on in there in the top three. Very relaxed, Liam Durant hard at work. Dan Rook right up behind him, and the gap down at the hairpin. Behind, you can see all the Fiestas running together. Bellaby third, Godfrey running fourth, fifth O'Donovan, Proctor sixth. Dan Rook, this year's British champion, storms over the line. Steve Hill heads for retirement. Day done, game over. Now there Dan Rook presses on, trying to stay on the tail of Liam Durant. Now they are teammates. Are they going to have a proper battle or hold station? Let's see. Julian Godfrey, though, is getting quicker and quicker. He's just done the best lap of the race, by the way, as he closes on Bellaby. There is Mike Boak in the two-wheel drive Citroen, the C2, the Super 1600, lower down the order. So it is still Liam Durant leading the way, Dan Rook behind him, but who is going to be the other podium finisher? That now is really what's up for grabs. It's Bellaby at the moment. There he is. Bit of rear damage, you can see. He's being chased hard by Julian Godfrey as they work their way around the hairpin. You go from the very wet, muddy, loose onto slippy, hard standing, and then back onto the loose section again. Godfrey on the power. And Bellaby's got a problem. Godfrey zaps past him onto the last lap, and Dave Bellaby is a retirement. Bellaby peels into the pit lane. He is done. Dan Rook in second. I don't think he's going to be able to have a proper go at Liam Durant now as they work their way around the last half of the last lap on board with Durant. How relaxed does he look? He's got the advantage. He's got the best visibility. Loads of experience. Former Grand Prix winner. He's been racing in the World Championship, of course, so he's raced at the highest level. That is all put to good use here. Liam Durant accelerates out of the hairpin. Checkered flag at the ready. The 2016 MSA British Rallycross Grand Prix winner is Liam Durant. His second success in the Grand Prix. Dan Rook takes second. And who is going to be third? It's Julian Godfrey. There is James Grint, who, as ever, is still on maximum attack as he tries to stay with Kevin Proctor. No, with Liam Durant's dad, Pat, rather, as they go round the hairpin. So Pat Durant it is who's going to come through just ahead of James Grint. They're together. But Pat Durant hangs on in there. Wow, what a race. And what a drive by Liam Durant to score the win from Dan Rook. Julian Godfrey third, ahead of Kevin Proctor. Pat Durant is fifth, then James Grint from Ollie O'Donovan. And Dave Bellaby, a retirement. Bellaby wasn't the only one in dramas. Mike Boak parked it, and Steve Hill, we saw retire early on. A second Grand Prix win for Liam Durant.
There's been a lot of talk this year about Dan Rook, British champion, and of course your teammate as this next British star of Rallycross. Is there an element of this win saying, oi, don't forget about me?
Well, I've got to put him in his place a little bit, right? But no, the idea of all of this is for me to help him. And, you know, driving with our team in the car is to try and develop him as a driver on the sort of the quickest route to get to the top. So I think it's important that he beat everybody else by quite a long way, because that's who he's competing against at the moment. But he's going to drive against other drivers that are a bit faster. So he's got, you know, it's great. It's exactly what we planned to do. We spoke before the event, before the final, and said, like, you know, for the team and for both of us, it's important that we get one too, because the cars look good and the team looks good and we both look good, you know. And it sort of puts a stamp on his domination really this year, that, you know, in the British Championship he's the fastest guy.
So how did the plan form about? Was it always going to be a fair fight, or were you going to be the man to beat all the way through? Was he going to have a chance to get you?
No, in all seriousness, we just said there's absolutely no team wins between us. It's whoever gets to start or whoever's fastest, because we didn't know what the conditions were going to be like, etc. And we just said whatever happens, we can't, you know, damage each other's chances, whatever we've got to beat everybody else. And I honestly don't care. I would be more than happy for him to have beaten me then. So it would have been either way, you know. But what is important is that for his campaign at the moment, you know, which I'm trying to help, this is exactly what needed to happen, because he beat everybody else. We both did.
And Dan, for the win of the Grand Prix, you gave it your best shot.
Yeah, visibility is definitely an issue out there today, especially going along the back. I'm coming into that hairpin completely blind, trying to guess my braking point, and a few times it nearly overshot. Yeah, I'm happy to be on the back of Liam. Happy for Liam to win it, to be honest. It's nice for the team to get a 1-2. and to go out there and just show our pace, show the car's pace, and show what we've both got.
And you look at the names behind you, it's not too shabby being second, is it?
No, it's not too bad. Although when you look at the name in front of me as well, it would have been nice to pip him.
There's always next year.
Yeah, good maybe next year.
My car's a little bit faster. I'm going to help him out there. My car's probably a little bit faster. He's waiting for his chance to drive my car, so that might help me a little bit, but we're not going to talk about that too much.
So for next year, you swap cars and then we'll see how good you both are.
Yeah, as long as I get a better car as well, yeah.